Justice and Dylan kind of strung together two pretty good days, especially in pass coverage. What are you seeing from both of those guys right now?
Yeah, they're both doing really, really well. I talked to Dylan last night about it, actually. It's not day to day, it's even play to play. I mean, they're both stepping up. The competition between those two guys neck and neck, they're both doing a really good job. I'm really happy with where they're at.
I know you're going to have to start one, but do you think it's going to be more of a situation where they're both kind of, it's 1A, 1B, and they're going to rotate a lot?
We still got a couple of weeks to figure it out. So, knock on wood, if we stay the way we are right now, it would just be a rotational thing, and then we'll see how it shakes out, whoever plays the best. If one separates, then that's what we'll do. But, I could see both of those guys splitting the game and playing a lot of football.
How have you thought Dom Sybil's move back to Will has gone so far?
It's gone pretty well. He's got a little bit of a learning curve to go back to that position because he was so used to playing rush. So every day he's making mistakes, but he's doing some really good things too. He runs really well. He's been a good addition to the group. We're definitely deeper with him there.
Would you say his athleticism is probably what he brings to the table?
No doubt, yeah. He can run, he can blitz. He rushed the passer at rush, and obviously he has some experience playing that position. So he's been a good addition to the fold. We got the 5 guys who played that position in the spring who I thought were pretty good, and Dom comes in. Now we got 6 guys that are pretty good football players, I think, at my position group.
And then Rocky Katawanga, he's looked like he was with the second team every now and again. Is he maybe a little ahead of schedule, or what do you think in terms of how he's
I don't know if I would say he's ahead of schedule. That's more of a rotational, because he's playing some rush also. So we're moving him around a little bit, kind of like we did Dom and Favai, to try to see, we need to develop depth. It's a long season. You hope to play, 13, 14, 15 games. So if someone goes down, you have guys that are cross-trained in certain positions. I can tell you this, he's a lot better than he was in the spring. He's playing a lot faster, so I think he's coming off his knee injury and getting better. So hopefully he's got a really bright future somewhere on our team.
Is Treyvion Brown spending most of his time with you guys, or could you see him playing rush a little bit?
Don't let Coach Brock take Treyvion from me. Treyvion is picking things up unlike any freshman I've been around. We had him learning 2 positions. He still knows 2, but I'm sticking him at 1 because that's the one where I think he can help us the best, providing depth. But he's going to be a really good football player. Penny is also. Penny's got a lot of ability. He's not as far ahead mentally. From high school, some of the things that we do are similar to what Treyvion did, so he's a little bit further ahead mentally. But I'm really, really happy with both of those guys.
Did you lobby for Silvos?
No, I didn't lobby for him. No.
It was obvious
no lobbying.
Okay.
Coach who you got, so I'm happy to have him though.
Jihad's not usually one of the more vocal guys. You don't hear his voice as much as other guys, but as far as being a leader, and do you see him taking other guys under his wing? And even the Sherman and Rogers, he can probably help those guys
the raw guys, they stand out. You hear them all the time, but you don't know about the guy who this summer pulled 3 guys to the side and said, that's not how we do things here. That's Jihad. Jihad's the guy that's going to pull guys to the side and talk to them. He's not out in front of the group, rah-rah, siskumba and cheering and all that stuff, but he's going to put the guys to the side and tell them, this is how we do it, and I'm really happy with him. But Justice and Sherman really have stepped up too. They're a little more vocal than Jihad. I think we got a really good group of leaders, not only in my group, but on the team, as a defense and the whole team. I think guys are really coming together. This has been a pretty cool camp coming down here. Didn't know what to expect, but you see a lot of the guys getting closer, and a lot of that leadership development in all the position groups has been pretty neat.
I know you weren't around when Payton Pelluer was here, but if someone told you that this team was one who was kind of searching for leadership, would you believe that from what you know?
You mean this year?
Yeah, this year, in terms of what leadership they have.
No, I think we've got a lot of leaders, and I've heard all about Payton, and was a great player. I got to watch a lot of film of him, and I heard he was a really strong personality, strong leader. And maybe now that there's not one strong leader, there's letting other guys step up and do their thing, and some of that other leadership is developing. I think that's definitely the case here.
I think I saw Payton back in Pullman last week. Have you met him or talked to him?
I've never met him.
Okay.
I went to the banquet, and he was at the banquet, but he went out the other side door. I was down. It's my Italian brothers. No, he actually was on the other side of the room. I never got a chance to talk to him, and then after practice, I didn't get a chance to talk to him either because we had to get upstairs and watch some film. But I know the guys in my room really, really love him, so I know he must be a hell of a guy.
This is an important time for players to bond, but you're new, and I'm sure you're still wanting to bond with a few of the coaches. What's that been like down here? Do the coaches get time to bond like the players do down here in Lewiston?
Yeah. We got 4 guys in a suite, so you're with them and you learn about people's habits in the suite, and then you're spending 18 hours a day together watching film and things of that nature, and then hanging out a little bit after practice and meetings and getting to know each other a little bit more. I think it's one of the brilliant things Coach Leach does is bringing the team down here, because players are rooming with people they would never room with before, and they're coming together as a team, and they're doing the belly flop contest, and the coaches are hanging out together. I think it's a hell of a deal. It's been great, unlike anything I've ever been around.
Without throwing anyone under the bus, what's one interesting roommate habit that you've noticed?
Well, I can tell you this: Drew has no idea about the history of sports. I can tell you that. We'll leave it at that. The man says Babe Ruth couldn't play today. So, being a Yankee fan, we had a little bit of a chit chat about that. So we'll leave it at that.
Sounds good.